going to be looking, I think, at the 152.26 area to reset those long positions. The 152.26, 152.40 was a very significant level for an extended period of time. So my bias is we stay with our longs. We can see that the 18-day predicted moving average has been repeatedly tested. Last Sunday, I talked extensively that unless we got a sustained break of 150, any move lower on Great Britain US is an excellent opportunity to reset those longs because we're close to a breakout. That's exactly what happened. It pulled back. It went down, I think, as low as 149.60 and then shot out of there like a cannon. And of course, we were all there waiting to pick up those buy positions. So for the pound dollar, we can clearly identify we've got a very significant amount of resistance at 155.35. Very cautious around this area. That's what I'm suggesting. But again, we want to buy on dips. So we can buy all the way down between 152.26 and 151.13. Now going in, look at the Aussie US dollar. Coming under pressure again, but it's closed the week. We've got 86.71, 87.34, and 87.59. We've got a bit of a mixed signal, but again, we're still in a buy formation here. So on Australia US, we're going to use this move lower strictly to buy on dips. That's what we want to do. This is a high yielder. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with Australia and New Zealand because it's essentially the exact same trade. We're going to go into the daily report. We've identified it using the triple EMA crossover. 86.59, we can use that to get back into our buy positions. Neural index is down. We know it's going to move lower. The move lower we can use to again reset some of those buy positions. And again, we're going to be looking for a move probably back towards the 88, 87, 88, 89 area. So I don't want to get into shorts. I would recommend with Australia US that we remain on the sideline and we buy dips. Again, looking at the bottom of the range, we can see is in the 81 area. Right now we've got some pretty decent support forming just at about the 83. So we're going to be buying dips down to the 83 level. Now going into again, we're going to bypass our futures here. US Swiss franc, it's really likely to come under a little bit of a pressure with Euro US, a little bit of it's a difficult to call because Euro Swiss franc is coming under pressure. We're heavily oversold here. My bias remains on dollar franc is that it's got more upside potential than downside, even with Euro US moving higher. This thing is heavily oversold. The true strength indicator has crossed to the upside. My bias remains on this somewhat loosely to buy on dips, but be very mindful of what's happening with Euro Swiss franc if you're trading this currency pair, because again, that's what makes up this currency pair. The Euro Swiss franc makes up the US Swiss franc. That's how this works. Now again, if the franc is to gain strength, this can again move lower very aggressively, but I believe that US Swiss franc is going to start leveling out here. So we're going to keep an eye on it through the week, but when we're getting into these heavily oversold areas, I'm not a big fan of selling at these levels. Now again, that's more of a cross pair than anything else. So looking at our final pair here, we're looking at New Zealand US dollar. Again, almost identical trade to Australia US. We're either buying or selling US dollars. That's how this game works. 70.70 is the 18-day predicted moving average from Vantage Point. 71.38, 71.78 with a close of 71.13. So we can see that much like Australia US, New Zealand US is closing in on that 18-day predicted moving average and is likely to move lower. I can see two decent candlesticks sitting down here just above the 68 level. We could retrace all the way back to that. We're in somewhat overbought territory, but not that much. So I think we're going to see a corrective move lower on New Zealand US, much like the Aussie US, and then they're both going to move higher as the buyers move in to grab this on dips. So again, that's looking at we've spent a little bit more time on some currencies than others, but we want to focus where there is some opportunity. We want to make sure that we identify the ranges, again, because it's very, very important that we pick out areas over a longer period of time where potentially that could represent a problem for us. Even though our indicators may say it's going to continue to move up, much like it's doing with US CAD and Great Britain US, there's resistance up there that can drive it right back down very quickly. So definitely something we want to keep in mind. So that is the Forex market outlook for the week of July the 19th, 2010. And again, my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.